All right, welcome to my live Wednesday cooking experience for foods that are good for your back. We do these segments so you have a better understanding, we got barking dogs, of what is good for your back. Certain foods can actually make your back pain worse. Why? Because certain foods cause inflammation. So our goal is to create a diet of foods that are going to decrease inflammation. If you have back problems, you have an inflammatory process in your spine. I was at a family reunion recently, and during that family reunion, I met somebody that was having back pain. And they said that their doctor claimed that they were having back pain because they had poor nutrition. I said, it's not possible to get back pain from poor nutrition. Very often, back pain comes from an injury or wear and tear to both the disc and to the joints and the supporting ligaments and tendons around the joints. When there's a dysfunction as a result of an injury, there's an inflammatory process that takes place over time. And the longer you have back pain, the more of the inflammatory process that takes place. So you don't get back pain from poor nutrition. You don't get back pain from eating bad foods. But you can get back relief, not complete resolution of your problem, but you can get back relief by eating foods that are anti-inflammatory. So every Wednesday, our goal is to cook a meal that is all the ingredients are anti-inflammatory. And these are all ingredients that we eat every day. Okay? The key is to get them to where they work together and they taste good, but they're anti-inflammatory. So I'm with Chef Bill.
How you doing,
Chef, I'm awesome. And I know we have something special on the menu tonight, something near and dear to your heart. Why don't you tell us what we got here?
Tonight we're doing white beans, sweet potato, and pepper ragu.
All right, now when you say ragu, is that the Italian marinara that I have?
No, you're thinking of ragu. Same pronunciation, just different spelling. This here is French ragu, R-A-G-O-U-T.
Ragout.
It's a French stew.
All right, so we're cooking some French stew. And where did you learn this recipe?
I learned this in Baton Rouge at culinary school.
Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
That is it.
And they're French. All right, so we picked avocado oil tonight for two reasons. Number one is anti-inflammatory.
Yes.
And number two, this is Lent. And during Lent, some people don't consume olive oil. Is that right?
That is correct.
I did not know that. So tell me about the avocado oil, because I didn't know avocados had oil.
Avocado oil is no sodium, no saturated fat, downfall, no protein, but it's lower in cholesterol.
So it's good for your heart,
Mm-hmm.
good at preventing strokes, and anti-inflammatory.
Correct.
All right, so how do we start? How much and how do we start?
All right, right now we've got our pot at about medium, which on a gas flame would be maybe 3/4 of an inch. On our system here, it's number 4.
It's not the same medium that caught fire last time, right?
No, that was medium high. And that brings up another good point. Avocado oil is also got a flame point of 500 degrees like olive oil does.
So what does that mean? It burns faster?
What happens is it burns faster, smokes faster. Like with our olive oil episode, avocado oil will do the same thing.
Can we make that happen tonight?
We could, but let's not.
Gonna melt the chandelier. We had an episode where we made the olive oil a little extra hot because we like things hot, and we had a little fire. So go ahead, let's get that in there, let's get that going. And then after that, I know we're going to the bell pepper. So
That is
we
correct.
have sweet red pepper. Is that what it's called?
Yep, sweet red pepper.
And we got the non-sweet green pepper.
Yep.
All right, and you're gonna slice them or you're gonna cube them?
These here we're going to break down to about a 1-inch piece. You want them a little bit bigger for in a stew because traditionally after a while they get wet, typically, and they'll start to shrink. The moisture will start getting pulled out of them and they'll start dropping down.
My food shrunk. All right, so we got the red pepper, and I know the red pepper has a little bit of spice, but not enough to even make it hot.
No. Red pepper, sweet pepper, has enough capsicum in it to just give it the name.
Give it the name? All right. That's what makes it red, right?
Yep.
Okay. So we have, we've got red pepper and we've got the green pepper. And I know that when it comes to anti-inflammatory foods, it is probably the 5th most anti-inflammatory. So anytime you can eat a pepper, you're doing pretty good as far as the inflammation goes. So we're going to slice those up, cube them up, and then we're going to put them into the oil. Yep. And after they're in the oil, how long do we keep them in the oil?
These here you're going to want to leave in for about 5 to 7 minutes.
Okay.
The oil will be nice and shimmering by the time we get it in there. You'll hear it sizzle. What we want it to do is we want these to break down just a little bit and get tender.
Awesome.
And the green pepper is one of the only peppers in the pepper family that does not have any capsicum in it.
I love hot peppers. I'm just saying. Those are absolutely my favorite. The higher the capsicum, the better. And I'm a fan of ghost pepper. And you know, maybe we can make a dish with ghost pepper one day.
We could do that. We can do that. And if you want to, for people that don't really care for peppers like this, we can bump it up to using a hot pepper, an Anaheim pepper, or jalapenos and stuff like that.
That's for the really rugged. I like it hot.
That is a real South Louisiana style doing it.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Hot to it.
For the culture. All right. So next is my favorite potato, the sweet potato.
Sweet potato.
All right. Now the one thing about the sweet potato is the color in the sweet potato is the result of some of the vitamins, and those vitamins are highly anti-inflammatory: vitamin C, vitamin A, and vitamin E. Supports the immune system and also anti-inflammatory and high in fiber. And we know that fiber is also really good for maintaining your blood sugar, but anti-inflammatory. It's lower in glycemic index, and this is a little bit more, I don't want to make it too confusing, but certain foods break down quickly. The carbohydrates break down quickly. A white potato, the carbohydrates break down quicker than the sweet potato. So if you have issues with the way your body processes sugar, then you want to stick with the sweet potato. If you have an increase in blood sugar in your system, it will cause an inflammatory reaction. Also, diabetics can eat the sweet pepper and know that they struggle with the white pepper as well. So now we're doing, what are we doing?
We're going to peel our potato, and then we're going to have it, quarter it, and then we're going to break it down into a smaller bite-sized piece.
Break it down. Do some breakdown. All right. So we got our sweet potato, we got our onions making a little we got our peppers over there making a little bit of noise, and then we're going to put the sweet potato in there. How long does that happen?
Sweet potatoes we're going to leave in for about 10 minutes.
All right. So next, I know we're going at the garlic, and we've got, you diced 3 cloves.
3 cloves of garlic, diced up.
Okay.
We're going to add that into there.
So our ragu that we're making here, our anti-inflammatory stew, how many people does this feed?
This here would be an average for 4 people.
4 people?
Yep, 4 servings.
Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, perfect. All right. So I know that the garlic lowers cholesterol, lowers blood pressure, and maintains good blood sugar. And the key to all this is maintaining good blood sugar. If you eat foods that are highly inflammatory, you're going to start to have problems with your blood sugar, because inflammation causes a problem with your insulin.
Yes.
Yeah, and your back. But only if you have a back problem. Yeah, inflammatory foods will not cause a back problem, but they will help decrease the inflammation. All right, now we've got rosemary.
Yes.
And this is fresh rosemary.
This is fresh rosemary.
And I know from my cooking experience from an hour ago that fresh rosemary is very, very, very beneficial compared to dry.
Right. A lot of it, what it is your chemicals and stuff in here are still active. Where when you use a dried herb, you're just going for the flavor. You don't get the same property and benefits.
Sure.
The other thing with doing this is with a fresh one, we're using half a teaspoon of fresh rosemary, where if you're using the dried, you'd only need a quarter.
And a lot of the active ingredients in the rosemary that are anti-inflammatory are the oils.
Yes.
So if it's dry, you're going to lose some of the oils. It's antifungal, it's anti-inflammatory, and it's antiseptic. So rosemary, and I talked about this last week, that a lot of people turn rosemary into a tea. So I have my own rosemary tea today for the very first time, and it tastes a little bit like a Christmas tree. I do like it. All right, so we've got the rosemary, and what's next?
Okay, we're gonna let this cook down for about 5-7 minutes. You want to start getting the potatoes nice and soft a little bit. Then we're gonna come in with a 1/4 cup of water.
Or a cup of water, no calories,
No calories, no sodium.
anti-inflammatory, well, maybe not anti-inflammatory, but good enough. All right, and sea salt and pepper. I love the sea salt because it's high in magnesium, which is good for decreasing the inflammatory process. And pepper has
Pepperini. Pepperini.
Is that French?
Yes.
Did I sound French?
Oui.
I felt French for your race for a small second. Salt, black pepper. All right. So the last couple things we go is the
White kidney bean.
white kidney bean.
These are canned kidney beans. You're gonna need 2 cans of these. And what we do is we drain them and then rinse them off a little bit.
Okay. And when they in a can, they come pre-cooked,
Yes.
so we don't have to cook them as long. And beans are high in fiber.
Yes.
And we know fiber is really good for regulating your blood sugar and anti-inflammatory. Protects the skin from damage, helps fight cancer, and is anti-inflammatory.
Okay.
Perfect.
Let that cook down for about 5 to 7 minutes again.
Okay. So this whole experience, how long does it take?
You're on the average of 20 to 25 minutes.
20 to 25 minutes? All right, what's next? Because that looks like ragu. Maybe that's where the name comes from.
This could be. That's where the French and
All right,
Italian get together.
so this is cooked tomatoes.
Yes. This
Okay.
is basically going to be a can of diced, unsalted tomatoes in their juice.
Okay. And we know that the ingredient in the tomato that is anti-inflammatory is a lycopene.
Correct.
Am I saying that right? And with the cooked, you get more lycopene than the uncooked.
Right. When you start heating them up, it releases the enzymes and everything to create the lycopene.
Awesome.
So the stewed tomato
I didn't
or
know
fried
that.
tomato
Good.
will actually increase the lycopene.
All right, so we put that in there. Beautiful. All right, and then so once it's in there, it simmers. And the simmer does what?
A simmer will marry the flavors. It brings out the flavors to where when you take a bite, everything's together. It balances everything out. Where if you eat it like right out of the pan like this, you're going to taste individual flavors. The tomato, the bean, the pepper.
And then we have some that's been simmering for a while. Can we bring
Yes.
that over here? How about the big pot? Is it still simmering?
Yes.
I want you to show the camera.
You can see that.
All right, so this is what it looks like. This is my French anti-inflammatory stew. And Joe says raise it up. It is all my favorite ingredients, and I'm gonna dig in. Awesome, cool, I got some potato in there. Because it's high in the anti-inflammatory antioxidants, that's what gives it the color, and here we go. Unbelievable. Beautiful. I'm gonna chew. You tell them who you are and what your email address is.
Anybody has any questions, has a recipe that they wanted fixed up, done on the show, email me at chefbill@illinoisback.com and we'll do what we can. Get it on here, give you a shout out. And if you got a recipe that you want to made into an anti-inflammatory, we can do that too.
That's a good point. There are a lot of recipes that maybe don't have anti-inflammatory ingredients. And if you want to convert it, you can send it to us. We will convert it and we will make it. Okay, the key here is certain foods cause inflammation and certain foods decrease inflammation. Our goal is to make foods that taste good, that are good for you. So that's it. Wednesday, I'm out. We're coming back next Wednesday for another episode of anti-inflammatory foods that are good for your back. I'm here with Chef Bill, and we're done. So have a good night and make yourself some anti-inflammatory ragu stew.